The soaring energy prices are presenting a huge challenge for the world's airlines. Jet fuel has nearly doubled since this time last month. One CEO told me today, I was just saying, I said, how much are you paying at the moment? He says, $1,700. I said, well, how does that compare to last week? He said, $700. So in that environment, you can see exactly who on earth can compete on that. The Director General of IATA, Willie Walsh, told me the aviation industry is facing this unknown, much like it did during COVID. Willie Walsh said it's about the adjustments that the airlines will have to meet to accommodate this and lack of routes and all those sort of things, and who will, in the end, be footing the bill.
You do need to give incredible credit to Emirates, for example, who I think have done an outstanding job in getting flights up and running to repatriate people. I think they get up to about 60% of their pre-war levels of capacity. It has been fluctuating because of the intermittent attacks. So it is incredibly difficult, but always safe.
We look at the flight radar and you can see the donut. I mean, it's quite dramatic how you can see everybody going around. What are the, not safety, but in terms of flight times and fuel used, what's the implications of that?
Well, we've already had to deal with the closure of Russian airspace and the closure of some airspace in the region. So it is very complex, and it's adding to complexity that was there pre this war. So most airlines have either reallocated assets that would have gone into the region or bypassed the region to other parts of their network because there is still strong demand. And I think you would have heard most of the European airline CEOs say that, they've shifted capacity away from the Middle East, so they're not even overflying the area, to other parts of the world where there is strong demand.
Then you end up with the jet fuel problem. Doubling, and it may go higher, possibly could go higher. How bad are the implications?
Yeah, it's a serious challenge. A lot of the European carriers are hedged, certainly in the short to medium term. But if you go back to the sort of fundamental economics of the industry, we say fuel is going to average about 27% of the cost base. It's slightly lower than labor costs this year. Fuel is normally the number one. So if you've got a doubling of jet fuel, you've got a doubling of the cost. So instead of 27%, it's up over 50% of the cost base. So it is inevitable that prices will increase. Net margins for the industry around 4%. There's no way the industry can absorb this. So ticket pricing will have to go up, and it will depend on a number of factors. And you've already seen some airlines adjust pricing.
Even if ticket prices go up, they cannot go up by the full amount of that. So would you expect to see the industry move into loss this next year?
I think it's still too early to call because obviously, you've had 2 months of performance where there was little or no disruption. We've so far had a little bit less than 1 month of disruption. If you look at the forward curve for fuel, you can still go out and hedge, 6-9 months out at prices that are significantly lower than the spot price today. And I think airlines will look at that, take some comfort from the fact that the market believes prices are going to come down. I don't think they're going to hedge at those prices today. So there will be early pricing action, and you will see airlines pass on increases because they are facing immediate increases in their costs.
Besides calling for peace and for sort of stability, what else is IATA calling for in terms of aid and assistance to the industry?
Well, we're always reluctant to say that people should provide financial support to the industry. I think what we do need, though, is a serious look at the allocation of refined products. Because typically jet is about 8-9% of the output of a refinery. There has been more disruption to the jet refining because of the amount of refining that was done in the region. So we are facing some issues there, and you could argue that maybe this is a case for there being a strategic reserve of jet fuel, not just a strategic reserve of crude, because we will face, I think, shortages in certain parts of the market.
You do think that there will be, if this continues, that's the if, there will be shortages of jet fuel?
Yeah.
Where and how?
Yeah, there will definitely be shortages of jet fuel. And already you've seen some airlines say that they're probably going to pare back their schedule in anticipation of having a lower supply of jet fuel. I think it'll impact on Asia and Europe, but it'll impact on every part of the world. Now, the opposite side to that is, of course, the Gulf carriers are using less jet fuel, so there will be some surplus supply. The question is, how is that going to be reallocated?
When will you push the big red button that says crisis for the industry as a result of this war?
Yeah, I'm sort of reminded of the things we were saying back in the COVID period. You know, this will all be over in a few weeks. No need to panic. You know, everybody should relax. And I think that's pretty much the same message that's out there at the moment. Nobody knows, Richard.